Welcome back to another coffee chat. I want you to grab your coffee and settle in for a few minutes because I want to share something that's been on my mind lately. It's amazing how sometimes one conversation helps you make sense of a dozen others that you've had, and that's what happened to me recently. So over the past few months, I've attended several virtual networking events and had several coffee chats. And as I've looked over the things that I've jotted down, I realized I wasn't hearing different problems. I was hearing the same thing over and over again from women business owners. I thought this would feel easier by now. And maybe you've listened to a few episodes of the podcast where I've talked about documenting your processes and you started doing that. You may have even put some boundaries around your schedule, but you may also be giving too many exceptions. And this rarely happens all at once. It's one client exception, one last minute favor, one process you decide is faster for you to do yourself. And then one day you realize your team is waiting for approval before they can move forward. Clients still text you instead of following your process, and even simple decisions, they end up back on your desk. And it probably happened so gradually that you didn't notice it until everything started coming back to you. And that's usually the moment when people start questioning themselves. They wonder if they missed something or if the systems that they built weren't good enough, or if they should have worked harder to get everyone on board. Sometimes they even start looking for a completely new solution because they assume that what they've built simply just doesn't work. But that's often not what's happening. What's really happening is that businesses are not static. They grow. You grow as the business owner. Relationships evolve. Clients become more comfortable, teams change, and your expectations change too. But the structure that supported you 6 months ago or even a year ago simply may just need attention so that it can continue supporting where your business is today. And I think a lot of us assume that once we built something well, it should keep working. But what most people don't realize is that maintenance is always a part of the process. Yesterday, I was talking with someone at a local event, and she told me about a coffee shop that's only open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Why? Because the business owners aren't morning people. And I laughed because those are not typical coffee shop hours. But then she told me this place is always packed. That reminded me that successful businesses don't have to look like everyone else's. It just has to work for the people that's running it. So you can build something that runs on its own, but with a coffee shop, think about it. Orders have to be placed. You have to adjust schedules. Someone has to notice that things are getting low before they run out. And most of that happens behind the scenes. Customers never think about it, but that's what keeps the client experience running smoothly. And it applies to your business too. You need to revisit something, and it doesn't mean that you failed or you missed a step, and it doesn't mean you need to start over. But something subtle could be happening. Your business is not the only thing that changed. It could be your family, your priorities, your energy, or just the season your life is in. And that distinction matters because maintenance and failure, they're not the same. But sustainable growth, it doesn't work that way. Protecting what you've built requires routine care. You notice what needs attention, make small adjustments, and then you keep going. So if you've been wondering why things don't feel easier by now, maybe you're simply experiencing what true leadership looks like. And perhaps the question isn't, why doesn't this feel easier yet? The better question is, what requires my attention right now so I can continue creating more breathing room and growing? And I've been doing maintenance in my own business lately too, not because something is broken, but because what worked a year ago, it doesn't work now. And that's true whether your business is in its second or its 10th year. Growth doesn't eliminate maintenance. It just changes what you need to give attention to, which is also why I created the Legacy in Motion session, because your business doesn't have to be broken to deserve your attention. But it's a chance for you to step back and see what your business needs now so you can adjust and move forward with clarity. So this month, that's what I want to explore with you. Not how to build more, do more, but how to care for what you've already built. Because sometimes growth isn't about doing more. It's about making sure the business you've built still works for the life you're living.